I'm Rebecca Martinez Fitzgerald. I'm a licensed clinical social work associate using EFT with couples and individuals in Durham, North Carolina. And today I'm thinking about use of self. Emotionally focused therapy is a relational model. So, to really attune to our clients, we therapists need to draw on our own feelings and experiences and personalities in the session. Today, to talk about this, I'm meeting with Casey Lee. Hi, Casey. Can you tell me about yourself?
Yeah, hey Rebecca, thanks for having me here. So obviously my name is Casey Lee. I am a licensed professional counselor. I'm actually in Columbia, South Carolina. And I have my own private practice called Rooted Hearts Counseling, LLC. And I am certified in EFT.
Right on.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I know you're passionate about use of self, especially in couples therapy. Could you tell me a bit about yourself and the lens that you use
Yeah.
in sessions with couples?
Yeah. Appreciate you asking about myself. So I actually, so I was born in Hong Kong, and at the age of 6, we moved to Canada, to Toronto. And so I spent a lot of my life growing up in Toronto. I actually went back as an adult for a couple of years back to Asia, and now I'm living in the South in the US. So I've kind of been in all sorts of different places, but I feel like I've been kind of in between cultures because I have a lot of like Chinese culture in me, but I also grew up in a Western culture. And so like I feel like sometimes I straddle between two worlds, but
Yeah.
I don't really feel like I am really in those worlds, or I kind of I don't sometimes feel like I belong in either world at the same time, or I feel at home.
Mm.
So there's that sometimes this feeling of disconnect. And so I think for me, there's that always this longing for belonging, but also longing to be known. Um, and that makes me want to, it really stirs up curiosity in me to know others, and especially to know my clients and what their unique experiences, and to help to want my clients to feel like their sense of belonging too. Yeah, and so I think there's a heart part of my heart that's tender to clients who might not feel like they're being seen or understood, or they feel like they're not connected or belong in a place. And so, yeah, that's kind of a little bit about me that connects to why I'm really curious about my client's experience. And
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing about that and that vulnerability and naming that desire for belonging and how that helps you connect.
yeah,
So, how do you prepare yourself to really attune to your clients in a session? And what do you notice when it's working?
yeah. Well, you know, in terms of preparing to attune, I think a big part of it is me attuning to myself,
Mhm.
and feeling like I'm connected with myself. I think using my own self is huge to being able to be attuned to my clients. So if I'm disconnected from myself, it's hard. And so part of it is preparing and making space to connect with me, right? And to be really noticing what's happening in me, what am I feeling in my body, and to be able to go slow, right? And take a breath and kind of ground myself. And so I can be present within myself. Because otherwise it would be really hard for me to attune to my clients if it's really using myself and what I'm feeling, what I'm experiencing, and being aware of it. And
Yeah.
so part of it is really just kind of slowing down and um, attuning to what I'm experiencing. And
Yeah. So when you're when you are really grounded and able to be aware of what's going on in yourself and to connect with that client, how does that show up in the therapy room? How do you notice when that's really going
uh,
well in a session?
yeah. I mean, I think there could be a lot of different indicators, but I think um, part of what would happen if I'm really attending to and attuning to my clients and making that explicit and that they can sense that is I think uh, the the they would feel safer, right? And I think there will be that sense of safety where there could be more vulnerability and they might be actually slowing down, right? Able to slow down as well and maybe go deeper into their experience where they're not just talking about the content of things, but they can, when I'm really slowing down with them, they can really get into what they're experiencing emotionally in the here and now. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
totally. Okay. And so what typically happens when you're not really attuned to your clients or
Mhm.
using yourself effectively, and how do you turn it around?
Yeah, yeah. So if I am not really attuning to my clients, I think kind of there's maybe we're kind of in the session, it can feel like maybe we're just talking about a lot of things, like just contents, right? About stories, and we're not really in that moment, maybe going a bit deeper. It can feel kind of superficial or on the surface. And especially that here and now experience might not be there for the clients, right?
Right.
Really go deeper. And or that the client might keep repeating themselves and saying the same thing if they don't feel like they're being heard or tuned with, or they get more activated and more kind of upset or more energetic, or they start in a couple interrupting each other, right? And so I think in order to turn it around, so to speak, and really kind of interrupt that, I part of what needs to happen is for me to actually, notice what's happening with me, right? What's happening that I'm being kind of misattuned, right?
Mhm.
Like, and maybe even what's triggering for me.
Yeah, bringing yourself back to the moment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because what just happened? What triggered me? Was it when one of the partners interrupted the other and they started to really get intense, and like kind of like, or is it I'm feeling like the session is like going out of control, and so it's like just noticing how I'm triggered and then
Mhm.
noticing my own kind of like action tendency. Like, am I wanting to talk a lot now, or when I'm wanting to explain things, or do I go silent, or do I almost want to shut someone down here, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then also notice the fears that are coming up for me, right? Like, is my fear here like I'm not being a good therapist, or am I failing here, or is one of them going to hurt each other, and so I think just and then if I notice that fear, I can um, tell myself like, hey, this is normal, right? Things are kind of getting out of hand. We can regroup here, right? Let's slow down together. And then to verbalize that and say, hey, like what just happened here, right? Something feels off, right? I think I'm missing something. And I want to slow down. Can we slow down together here? And I really want to understand. I really want to know what's going on. I might be missing something here. And so I think kind of just noticing what's
Disconnect, name that disconnect and repair it.
right, right, exactly. To kind of name it and repair it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
cool. And I mean, that's a big part of what makes this work,
Mhm, mhm.
that process of rupture and repair. And if you're looking out for it the way you're describing, that can really
Yes.
make that therapeutic alliance so much stronger.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I think a big part is just noticing what happens, being aware, and then making that explicit, right? And then trying to repair that together. Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
So, what do you want other therapists to consider about the use of self in EFT?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a journey, right? And I'm always growing in that, the use of self. Why I'm passionate about it is because it's a learning, growing journey for myself. And that I feel like that's where the clients are here for, is ourself, right? The clients are there for you, right? And for me. And they're not there for a model per se or for our techniques, but they're there for us, right? We bring us in and we are so important.
Mhm.
And so I just want to acknowledge that sometimes it could be hard work, right? Bringing ourselves into the fire, so to speak, right? And it can be hard, but we're not alone in that. And we're all doing that together. So I kind of want all the therapists to know that we're all experiencing this together.
A hard time to be doing this work.
It is, yeah, yeah. And when we're going into the fire, we get singed sometimes, right? And especially when we're attuning to our clients, our nervous system gets kicked in because we're just feeling what they're feeling, right? And so it's normal that we get caught in it sometimes, right? And so and then that's where hopefully we can have compassion on ourselves, right? And have other therapists to lean on and
Yeah.
partners or whoever, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Casey, thank you so much for making time to talk with me today about use of self and EFT.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, appreciate you doing this interview with me.
It's been
Yeah,
a pleasure. Thanks. Take care.
thank you.